What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness.
So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel.
So let's start this video with the news that no bodybuilding fan out there expected. So Marcelo aka Horse MD, one of the most famous stars from Brazil, he just decided to switch over from the men's open bodybuilding back to classic physique. And first of all, I'm gonna say that, for lack of words, is kind of nuts. Now the reason he gave, I'm gonna say that's a pretty good one. So he wants longevity and athleticism, while at the same time continuing to compete at the highest level. That being said, the one thing that is desperately waiting for him in classic physique, that is being hungry all the time, craving for more food. As many of you guys might remember this, how he first tried to do classic physique when he first came onto the scene. When he first got his pro card, his initial plan, that was to compete in classic physique, and he did prep for a very long time for a classic physique show. But unfortunately, he failed to make the weight cap. So even at that time, when he was a much smaller version of himself, especially in comparison to how he looked like in the past couple of shows in the men's open, he still failed to make that weight cutoff. And yes, I know since that time, the regulations in classic physique, they have changed. They have the weight cap by about 5 pounds for a guy of Horse MD's height. But that being said, we still cannot seriously believe that he's going to look at his all-time best while competing in classic. Because let's say he does make the weight cap, he's gonna have to lose so much muscle, so much mass. And in doing that, I do think he's gonna lose a lot of his wow factor too. But that being said, we did just saw a guy like Josama Beast, who had a lot of success after switching over from the men's open to classic physique. But one thing that doesn't make any sense, especially to me, is that he was able to place runner-up behind Akeem Williams at his last show at the Big Man Weekend last year. So that was him getting one step closer to getting his first pro win and also securing his Olympia spot, as he was able to beat a bunch of very good bodybuilders last year, especially in that post-Olympia tour. Well, I do not know about you guys, but this can be a similar situation as Regan Grimes switching over to classic physique division, which happened back in 2018, and he did win a pro show in classic, and that was the New York Pro, and he also did one Olympia in classic. But then he found out the hard way that he belongs in a bigger division, and he just never belonged in a smaller division like classic physique. And we have to keep in mind, Horse MD doesn't have a small waistline, especially for classic physique, and he will have a very hard time filling up his biggest weakness, which of course is his back, with a weight cap hanging over his head. There is just no way he can do that. So do let me know, what do you guys think about this decision by Horse MD, especially in times when the prize money for the men's open, that is skyrocketing. So this coming weekend is going to be a super one for the world of bodybuilding. So we have two pro shows happening on the same weekend, Dubai Pro and China Pro, and the official competitors list that is now out for both the shows. Now we have been discussing Dubai Pro in almost every single video for about 2 weeks now on how that is going to be one of the most exciting shows of the year, as we are going to see multiple very talented guys, some genetic and shape freaks in that show, and also a freak of nature, a mass monster who goes by the name of Rubial aka Nexella. But that being said, the official list for the men's open bodybuilding for China Pro, that might surprise you, because we all thought that Juan Pradels was the only big name who is going for this upcoming China Pro. And if we thought that China Pro is gonna be an easy win for him, well, you could not be more wrong, as we have about 25 guys in the men's open class for this upcoming China Pro, with some big names like Andrea Presti, Louis Breed, and Florian Pearson. So based on the past track record, this should 100% be Andrea Presti's show to lose. And the reason I'm saying that is, of course, he's a 3 times former Olympian, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the only former Olympian in that show. And yes, I know he's gonna be light in the legs department, especially against guys like Juan Pradels and Florian Pearson, and also Louis Breed. He also has pretty massive legs. But the fact is, Andrea Presti's upper half, that is so damn massive, and so wide, and so muscular, that when he is truly on, when he is in condition, it's pretty damn hard to beat him, especially in this kind of lineup. Now we have to keep in mind, Andrea Presti did beat Louis Breed last year at Europa Pro, and Juan Pradels, He wasn't even close to Presti 2 years back at the Emperor Classic Spain when Juan Pradels made his pro debut, and that was the only pro show that he has done so far. But that being said, Juan is coming back after a gap of 2 years, and a lot of eyes out there they're gonna be on Juan Pradels. Because he's coming back after a long time, after a very productive off-season. And we are all expecting that he is going to show up with some considerable improvements, not just in terms of size, but in terms of his conditioning and his detail too, because that was also missing the year he made his pro debut. Now Keone Pearson can be the dark horse going into this show. He has been in the top 4 to top 5 spots in all the pro shows that he has done so far, and almost everyone, they are loving his look in the men's open. So unexpectedly, China Pro is turning out to be more exciting than we all expected. So do let me know who do you guys have winning this show, and can we see an upset here? The reigning 212 Mr. Olympia champion Keone Pearson crushing the spirit of every other top 212 competitor by posting this 17 weeks old physique update. I mean, who is gonna touch this guy? I think Keone is at a point in his career where he's gonna leave the same impression on his fellow 212 competitors as, I'm gonna say, Phil Heath, and how Phil Heath was so damn dominant throughout his Olympia reign when everybody just knew that if Phil comes in at his 100%, if he brings his A game, everybody else, they are just fighting for the second place. So that right there is an unbelievable look for 17 weeks out. He looks very lean, very aesthetic, and if we look at this comparison from the Olympia last year to this look right now, I think this might be the year when we are probably gonna see the biggest difference in terms of the overall size on Keone Pearson, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about this, because we said the same thing last year too. And if that happens, then he's gonna create an even bigger gap between him and all the other competitors. So the one thing that Keone was asked to do was to put more density on his back, and we did saw that he put on an insane amount of muscle on his back. That just needed more time to get dense and hard, and it looks like he will be a totally different animal this time around. So Keone is without any shadow of a doubt the most gifted athlete in the pro bodybuilding right now, probably of all time. He's put up together so beautifully and so well, and the only way he loses to anyone in the 212 this year is if he doesn't show up at his all-time best, or I'm gonna say he comes in very, very off. Next up, we have a 7 weeks out physique update from 2023 Chicago Pro champion, Justin Shire. So he's another guy who will be doing Tampa Pro, and with weeks of dieting in, his shape is coming back very nicely and very beautifully. Just wait and see Justin's front double biceps as it becomes one of the most lethal ones as the man keeps on chipping away little by little. So this is another guy who took the entire last year completely off just to focus on putting on more muscle, more mass. And the reason he did that was based on his first impression at his first ever Miss Olympia back in 2023 and the placings that he got that made him realize that he needs to go back to the drawing board and put on some muscle, especially in his back and also in his overall physique. But he has put on plenty of work in his physique since that time. So Justin, as we all know, is gonna be another standout in that front double biceps and the front lat spread at this upcoming Tampa Pro. Because the way this guy flows, that is superb, and those are two of his best shots based on his overall flow and his aesthetics and how it's put up together. So will we see enough improvements on his physique, especially on his back? Because the main criticism that he got at his Olympia debut was that there was just too much discrepancy between his front and his back. And that is why the main focus throughout this past off-season that has been on his back. And if we look at Justin's training style, he's that perfect form guy. And he started his pro career not too long ago. And the man made some great overall progress. So Justin is one of those guys who had amazing success with Matt Jensen as his coach, but now is working with a different coach, as Matt Jensen is now retired. Now Justin has done only one Olympia qualifier after turning pro, and he won that show. So will he be able to win another one in about 7 weeks time? So this upcoming Dubai Pro show in the 212, that is gonna be one of the most exciting and one of the most unpredictable 212 show of this year. Because as of right now, we have a total of 19 guys in this lineup. But all the eyes, they will be on these 3 guys. Nihat Kaya, the 22 years old phenomena, working with Patrick Tour, Angel Calderon, who just gave Sazan Herati A run for his money at the Emperor Classic Spain, and that too in the men's open. And then we have Christian Zagarella, one of the most beautiful physique in the entire 212 division. I'm gonna say apart from Keone Pearson and Nihat. Now we know Nihat has been grinding very hard for this very long and very grueling prep, and he was the runner-up behind Angel Calderon last year at the same show. Now the thing is, he did not have the muscle maturity back then. So the biggest question in regards to Nihat is that, will he be able to close that gap? The thing is, the man is gonna be absolutely ripped. He's gonna be peeled to the bone based on all the physique updates that we have seen. But will he have enough muscle maturity and density this time around to beat a guy like Angel Calderon? So Christian has been looking phenomenal in all the physique updates leading into this show. All the physique updates that he has posted in the past couple of weeks. Now I'm not sure if there is anyone in this lineup who is gonna make such a great first impression in that front double biceps and the front lat spread as Christian, as those are his best shots. And also his back, that is also looking pretty damn awesome. So it will be Angel Calderon who is the real veteran here, and this is his show to lose at this point. Now it will be interesting to see how he compares to his spin pro version here. Now he will bring that same level of hardness and the detail in the 212, but will he be full enough and bubbly enough after losing some muscle and some mass to make that weight for the 212? Now this is gonna be such a crucial show in terms of who is gonna be the one to make that jump into that top 3 at the Olympia in the 212 this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.